So this is episode 22 and this is ladies fundamentals. Now again, when I'm talking about the ladies being responsible for their own dancing, this is exactly the type of thing that I want you to think about. We talk about these at beginner level every single week, and then we can also include these in our intermediate dancing as well. If you get the basics right, that's what makes you an advanced dancer, okay? It's not doing all the flashy stuff. Getting the basics right is what makes you more advanced. So what are those three basic fundamentals we talk about every single week? So first fundamental, ladies, is that when you step back, weight with your weight over your back foot. So ladies, that should be your right foot, should be back to 6 o'clock, 1 o'clock pointing with the toes, okay? Want all of the weight transferred all the way back onto that hip. And ladies, a straight back leg at that point there. So you're weighting with your weight over your back foot. Fundamental number 2 is, once given the momentum, get from point A to point B in a straight line, okay? And again, the way in which you do that, ladies, is by always getting back to 6 o'clock. So therefore, whatever you do, you're always going to look straight down the slot, okay? So each time you step back, you're looking straight down the slot. Again, as I've mentioned before in other videos, if you step back to 4 o'clock, you're naturally going to wander off to the side. So you always want to make sure going back to 6 o'clock. And the third fundamental is whenever you do a turn or a spin, always keep your feet together. So every time you're doing that turn or a spin, feet should be together, and then again you step back and you wait for the man to lead. Again, the reason why is if you have your feet together as you do a turn, as you're coming around like so, you are going to stay on the spot. If you have your feet apart, naturally again, you're going to wander off to the side, and there's a man going, I'm leading a static return, and all of a sudden, as a lady, you've wandered off to the man's right-hand side, and he's then going, I'll follow you then, shall I? Okay, so ladies, that's your responsibility to make sure that you are turning and spinning with those feet together. So just a very quick recap for you. Fundamental number 1, weight with your weight over your back foot. Fundamental number 2, straight line from point A to point B. Fundamental number 3, is that you should always turn or spin with your feet together. Now, just moving this on to intermediates, there is a fundamental number 4 that I give very often for intermediates, and that is, ladies, as soon as you feel the man's hand, let's imagine we're doing a travelling return here. Okay, as soon as you feel the man's hand on your back, what you then need to do, ladies, is roll this left elbow up and over the top. Now, the reason for that is that as you are doing that travelling return from a man's perspective, if he places his hand on your back, you are always going to be either travelling back the other way or going into frame, okay? And therefore, you've got to get this left elbow up and out of the way. Otherwise, it kind of gets trapped underneath the man's arm. But ladies, do be aware not to raise it up too high, because then you're just going to clock the man in the face. So that's why we talk about it rolling over the top, and then the hand can come nice and gently onto the man's shoulder. So that's kind of intermediate fundamental for you as well. So they are your fundamentals.